Justin here from itrack. Just going to do a quick session on the off-market functionality and then touch quickly on some lead generation functionality that we've built into the app. We're recording this session, so we'll be able to post it later or email it to you later if you want to recap on some of the things that we've discussed. And we'll also send some instructions on how to use this off-market platform as well. Because there's a few people that have connected into the webinar, it's pretty difficult to have an open session with people asking questions as we go. So we've got a survey that will pop up at the end, and you can pop any questions in that which you need addressing, and we will get back to you within 24 hours. So being as brief as I can and just running through the main functionality of the off-market process within this platform is what seems to be a very important thing to do at the moment. We've noticed a considerable increase in the number of people that are registering for off-market properties or off-market alerts. We have people registered in 426 suburbs, the highest suburb having over 150 people waiting for alerts. And obviously the people that are on the platform that have bothered to download the app, register in the suburbs that they're looking for listings in, are the real deal. We all advertise on portals to try and connect to these people that are in buy mode, but these are people that are actually probably more likely to slip into buy mode than anyone else because they've done their searching, they can't find anything that suits, so they've come to the platform. The most important thing, though, setting that aside for 1 minute, is what we are finding at the moment, and it's reflective of all the data that's coming through the Real Estate Institute and the main portals in the eastern states, is that the off-market platform is becoming very rapidly a listing tool. Lots of people that are out there that are still needing to sell or feeling like they need to beat any falls in the market are very concerned about advertising on the major portals, having their property sitting there, and then having having to chase the price down. We're finding that so many people want to sell but are reluctant to advertise, and the off-market platform is the perfect way for a real estate agent to provide their sellers a process which protects the integrity of the home and the value of the home, and in that process allows them to win listings that they might not normally be able to get. It's a soft way of selling, and for an agent to be able to tell their vendor that the only people that are going to see their listing are the ones that are registered in their suburb and at the price range that they're interested in selling for is a very comfortable way of a seller moving forward. And the most important thing at the moment is to grab these listings or listing authorities moving forward in a market where listings are becoming very tight. If you can tell a seller that this is the soft and safe way to move into a campaign and that they won't be overexposing their property, that will give them a level of comfort. If you can also tell them that the off-market process allows them to maintain more control over the selling process, that's going to make them feel better as well. Obviously, when a property's on all the portals, has an asking price for whatever that price is, buyers at the moment are feeling really inclined to use that as a starting point to negotiate back from. For a seller to be able to tell them that you can take control of the process of where that price might end up being by telling buyers that, you know, it's not open slather. They're putting it out there just to a select market that are interested in properties in this suburb, and it's not a free-for-all, and they're not desperate, and they're not just going to put it on all the portals and do whatever they can to sell the property. It's a nice hook to make sellers feel comfortable that this might be the way to go. And rather than just saying, that you're going to send it out to your database, which may not be enough to insist on getting a listing authority. If you're telling them that it's going onto a platform and that you need that listing authority in order to do it, there's real justification in being able to write them up, make them feel comfortable, and get on with getting the listing. If you sell it, great. If you don't, then you just have to tell them that the next phase is on the portals, but at least you've managed to get the listing. So what I want to quickly show you is how to do how to upload a property on the off-market platform, and then I'm going to go through to the buyer side and just talk about what they will see. But the third tab down is add a property, which is where you would go if you had a live listing. The next tab down is off-market listings. If you tap on that, it takes you through to all the listings that you currently have that are on the market, or that are on the market in an off-market basis. If you want to add a new listing, at the bottom of the page, you press on that or tap on that orange bar, which is add new off-market, and you will go through to this page where you can write in as much or as little detail as you want. If you need to upload a photo, you tap on that. It can take you into you can take a photo, or it can take you into all your photos where you can grab an image and then keep loading them on as you feel. This is a listing down in North Fremantle. The great thing is that you're not restricted by the suburb that you have to promote your off-market listing in. So on the major portals, if you've got a listing in Perth, you can't advertise it in Wembley. But you can advertise or promote this property, I should say, in any suburb where you feel you'll get the most traction, as long as the people that get the alert aren't upset that it's not where they're actually wanting to find out about off-market listings. So the only field you have to fill in once you've done the photos is the suburb with the asterisks. This particular listing's in North Fremantle. I might find that I'll get more people connecting into the property if I list it under Cottesloe. And then I can put the street in if I like to, or if I don't want to, I don't have to, but maybe to give these buyers an idea that it is down in North Fremantle, I could put a street address and then put North Fremantle in brackets. You can write in the number of bedrooms, you can write in the house size, you can write in the number of bathrooms and the land size. When you write in the price to match buyer's search, this is the price where you're going to be putting in to connect to people on the other side. So if this apartment was $1 million, and there were buyers that had their price range from 800,000 to 1.2, it would pop up. You may not want them to see that it's, like it's $1 million that you're hoping to get for the property. So the next field is what you would want them to see, and you can write anything you like. You can write EOI, you can write from 1 million, from 800, offers less than 1.2, whatever you want them to see. And then you've got the description. Once you write in what it is that you think is going to connect with people, you press submit. I don't want to do that because if I do it, it's going to go to a whole lot of people that have properties registered, that are looking for new properties in Cottesloe. So I'm going to go back to one of my other current off-market listings. And the reason I want to show you this menu is because there's a couple of great things going on. The first thing, which is wonderful, is that I'm able to connect through to a whole lot of buyers that aren't on my current database. In some suburbs, and Cottesloe has over 150 people registered to receive off-market listings. But we have people registered in 426 locations, which is virtually every single suburb in the Perth metro area, and then places like Margaret River or Mandurah or Lancelin or Dunsborough. But the great thing is I get to connect to everybody that opens up the off-market listing that I send them. So what I can do is see who all of those people are. I'm at the top, and what this shows me is the number of people that are looking at my listing the most in any particular day. Obviously, the people that are looking at the listing the most are the ones that I want to engage with, because I probably feel I've got the most potential to follow through and get some traction and hopefully get a sale. If I click on myself, the other great thing is it shows me the other properties that me or another buyer is tracking, the other off-market listings. So what we can't do is show the actual addresses, but we can show the suburb with the price range and the basic configuration, whether it's a 5x3 or a 4x2, whatever information is put on by the agent, you can see it here. So you can get a gauge of whether they're really interested in the suburb that you're trying to sell in, whether they've got more of a budget than what your property you're trying to sell that property for, and you get a rough idea of the details of a particular buyer. If you want to message the whole market, everybody that's tracking a property, we do that in the previous page, and I'll show you where. But if you just want to message this particular person and say, hey, look, you're tracking properties in a few different suburbs, but did you know that Cottesloe hasn't gone up for the last 5 years, but has the most amount of people registering their interest in the suburb? All indications are that this suburb's going to go up over the next 12 months more than these other suburbs. That may or may not be true, but if I want to just send them that particular message, I would click on them and write whatever it is that I want to send them, and only them. If I think this other person is a real estate agent, underneath message tracker it says user should see notifications, and there's a little tick. But if I think it's another real estate agent and I don't want them to see it, I will untick that box and they won't get any notifications about this property whatsoever. Now, if I flick through all the people that are tracking this listing, there's 25 here, but then when I load more and then load more and load more, I actually got to connect to 109 trackers or buyers. And to be able to connect to these people who are normally the people on the portals that we want to try and get in contact with, it's invaluable, and it's a real listing tool, like I said, when you're talking to potential vendors. Now, on the subject of potential vendors, the one thing I really love about this platform is that in a market where prices are probably going to be falling, one of the most important things is to try and condition our vendors and sellers in accordance with buyers' expectations, but without ruining my relationship with them, because that's the most important thing that I've got to try and maintain when it comes to trying to get a deal over the line. So the first thing I do when I've got either a live listing or an off-market listing, I go into edit seller details and I write in their email address. And the reason for this is as follows. Whenever I or any of my team get a listing that's live or off market, we say to them, look, you may or you may not get an email from a campaign updating platform that we use called itrack Property. It will come to you as an email from Market Update from itrack. And you may or you may not get one. But the reality is they will get one if you need to send them some information to get them to understand the value of their property based on what the market is suggesting it's worth. The great thing is that you're in control of what information that they may want to get. And the better thing is that when it arrives to them on their phone or on their laptop as an email from campaign updating from itrack property, it's not you being the bad guy or the bad girl. It's them getting some information about a sale or a new listing that's relevant to their property. So you can add in any new listing that's come up in the suburb. If I press search, every single property in WA will pop up, and then I can tap on which one I think it's relevant for them to know has just come on the market. If I want to send them a comparable sale, I'll need to get a photo of the property, whether I drive to the property or whether I have one on my phone. And I upload the photo like I did before from my photo gallery. I put in the details of the suburb, the street, the bedrooms, the house size, the bathrooms, the land size, when it sold, how much it sold for, and how long it was on the market for. And again, it goes to your seller. You can call them later and have a chat to them about it. But the great thing is that you're able to send them information from the very minute you load this property, whether you've got a buyer on the other end of the platform or not, and you will. But it's a way of getting your sellers in the right mind frame in relation to value based on what's going on in the market. If I go to buyer notifications above there, there's a number of things that you can do with this property. One thing that's being added in the next 5 to 7 days, we should have the new version up, is your ability to post this to any of your social media platforms. So if you want to promote the property on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn without the address, you can do that. If somebody clicks on it, we will connect that person back to you into your listing here on the itrack platform. That will be there in about a week's time. But if you want to make a home open video, you go into the first tab there. You either upload the video or you can film one as you go along and put it in the miscellaneous post. But that will be there within the photo gallery for them to get an idea of a walkthrough feel with the home. There's something else that happens in relation to these videos and online home opens from the buyer's side, which is invaluable to an agent, but I'll touch on that when we get to the buyer page. A miscellaneous post is anything and everything that you think's necessary to create some interest and traction in the property. With this particular property, I have a buyer that wants to put a pool running down the side of the home. So I might create a plan that shows that a pool could go in and upload that, write some text in, and that will go out. It might be that I've got 5 offers on the property and I want everybody to know that it's the real deal. I could take a photo of the 5 offers on a table with some commentary. Whatever it is that you feel that is worthwhile, that buyers should know, that will get them interested in the property, is what you do here. Once I press post, I'm scared to do it. Once I put that information in and I press post, another box pops up. And again, it asks you if you want to send that out to your social media platform. So if you've got some information that's relevant to this listing and it's a great story, you can automatically send that straight to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or any other platforms that you have. If you've got a private viewing time that you want to let people know about, this is where you put it in. And you add the viewing time. All the trackers, all the buyers that are interested in this property will get that. Offer document numbers. If somebody requests an offer document within the app, it shows up automatically in that top section. Last month, we had 18 offer documents requested within the app. If you're at a home open and somebody requests an offer document, then this is where you write it in and it will go out to everybody that's interested in the property. Once you receive an offer document, you write it in here. Now, here's the thing. All of these notifications are obviously kept. They're in writing and they're there as a record. Now, that means that any information that's sent out has to be 100% truthful. But there's so much good in that. I know from my past experience as a real estate agent, when I would ring people that I felt were interested in a property and I told them that I had an offer or that I had an offer coming in, it was often met with disbelief. And for me to try and convince people that I really did have an offer and they really needed to get on board, the harder I tried, the more it sounded like smokes and mirrors. The great thing is that when you send this information out and someone gets a notification in writing on their phone that you have one offer or two offers, it's the real deal, and they'll accept it, and the potency of the message is so much more significant than when you say the same sort of thing over the phone. Of course, you can get on the phone and ring whoever you need to ring, but when it's there and it's in writing, people actually believe it. If you want to send somebody a similar listing that makes this property look like good value, then this is where you do it. In the previous section where you can pull in similar listings, this is where you go to as well. I just don't want to tap on it because it will pull it in. But obviously you don't want to send similar listings, I would think, that are another agent. You would only tap on this and then tap on listings that were your own. So buyers would see maybe another property that was similar that might be of interest to them. The comparable sale is the same thing. You tap on it, you put in a photo from your photo gallery, you write in the details that are relevant to that property, and it goes out to buyers in the opposite fashion, I suppose, than what you might send to your vendors. Because if something's just sold and it makes your off-market listing look like fantastic value, then that's the sort of information that you're going to send people that are tracking this property. Send off market listings. Again, if I tap on that, it'll take me through to my directory of other off-market listings, and I can send the details of those to these particular trackers. If I want to change the asking price, I do so on this screen, press send, and that will go out to everybody. And then if I need to change the status when it goes from for sale to under offer or sold, that's where I do it. I've already shown you trackers, and whenever I get a message from a tracker, that's where it will appear. Offer documents, if somebody requests an offer document within the platform, this is where it will appear, and it will appear with their email address for you to make a solid connection with them via email to then follow through the process of getting the offer and hopefully getting the property sold. Property details is just what you entered in with the property when you first uploaded it. So if you need to change anything, this is where you go to add details different to when you first loaded it up. So very quickly, although 20 something minutes have gone by, that is how you use the off-market platform. I just want to switch over to a buyer and go through. On the third tab down is search for off-market properties. These are the various properties that have popped up based on my search criteria in Subi and Mosman Park and Cottesloe, and this particular property is mine. When I send out a notification as an agent, it pops up under this request price drop. And I'll talk about that in 1 second. And then if I was to tap on it, the whole screen opens up and it shows you, in this occasion, the floor plans. But what I want to talk about are the details above where these notifications appear. At any time, someone from the public can look at you and see how great you are. I haven't written anything in there. I guess I'm not so great. But that's your opportunity to do a sell on yourself and how much business you're doing, and what your strongest points are in this marketplace, and why that if they're maybe considering selling, because lots of people on this platform are potential sellers, why they should connect with you. The next one is message. That's where they message you. The next one is call. The line underneath says request price drop and offer docs. In a couple of days, there's going to be an extra couple of words in there, which will say request information on a price drop. And the reason we put that there is because that's what all buyers are very connected to at the moment. They want to know about price drops because everybody feels that that's they're right at the moment with this market is, their entitlement at the moment in this market, they feel, is to be able to buy properties for less than what they might have sold for a while ago. The great thing is if someone taps on that and they request information about a price drop, we let you know. So we want to let you know when somebody on the other end of this platform is doing things that suggest that they're quite interested in the property. We will send you either an SMS or an email telling you that somebody, Mary, Joe, whoever they are, we connect you with them, wants to know about a price drop on this property before anybody else. When I talked about the online home open, and I said I'd discuss this thing further with you on the buyer's page, the request a private home open, if I tap on that, I've just been sent a message which is popping up on my screen as me as a buyer. And what that says to me is the agent, that if somebody has already seen the online video that I've posted, but they're requesting a private home open or a private online home open, that they are interested in this property in a more potent way. And we send that message like you just saw through to you as well. The other thing we do, which I think is great, is we block all notifications for a 48-hour period. And I can't do it on this because I've already opened it up. But if I hadn't have sent any notifications or any information to the marketplace on this property, and we're sending soft ones as well. We're sending, not on off-market listings, sorry, on live listings, we're sending updates on what's going on in the marketplace. But we block them, and we also block them on off-market. And when somebody opens up their page, and it says that they haven't had a notification for 48 hours and would they like some more information, if they press yes, we send that information to you. And again, it's somebody on the other end of the platform that is interested to the point where they want some more information and they want a market update. So we're trying to get this functionality in place so you don't have to do anything other than wait for us to send you somebody that's interested in a property that you have, be it in off market or be it a live property that's on the portals that you've activated within the itrack platform. One other thing that I just really wanted to make a quick note of is new functionality that we've just built into the itrack app or platform. And it's called Markets, Reflections and Updates. It's the fourth tab down. And it appears in feeds pretty much like Instagram, I guess, as information on off-market listings or live listings are sent out. It will appear in this page, but it also has other things. It also says tap here for a suburb report in the suburb of the properties that I'm tracking. And the reason we do that is we're trying to find out who's a buyer or who's actually researching the market. We also show them information on properties that have sold and under offer. And what we do is find out if they're wanting to connect to you as the agent to understand more about what's going on in the marketplace. Anybody that taps on properties that have sold, anybody that taps on properties that have gone under offer, anyone that taps on a suburb report. I won't click on that because when I click on it, it will go through to the Rewa side. Anybody that requests nearby sales, which is the fourth tab down, anybody that wants to sell their property off market, anybody that's interested in a home that's not for sale but is of interest to them, or anybody that requests an e-appraisal in a suburb. All of those people within this market reflections page will be sent a message. And the message is this one here. It says, you recently requested information on Fremantle. Tap here to see a list of agents that you can contact for further help. So I click there, and then it lists all the people that have listings on itrack. And then if you tap on this person, it shows all the listings they've got. The reason we're doing this is we want to try and find ways of supporting those people that have listings on itrack to connect them with people that are using the platform for market research. So anybody that does anything that looks like that they're not in serious buyer mode but are checking out what's going on and doing market research, anyone that engages in those notifications, we try and prompt them to connect with those reps and agents that have listing on the app to try and feed you potential selling leads. Because at the moment when listings are tight, it's probably the most important thing. There's going to be another webinar next week. There is so much more involved in this platform than what I covered off in half an hour, and the time zips by. But please, at the end of this session, with the survey, if there's anything that I haven't quite explained clearly enough, and you want some more information on it, if you'd like to know anything about all the other functionality within the platform, please reach out and send me an email. We'll all get it. The Rewa will get them. I'll get them. The tech developer will get them, and one of us will get back in contact with you and answer these questions and see how we can make this platform enable you to get more listings and sell more properties. There's ways to use this and to look at the notifications that your buyers are engaging in to understand whether they're a buyer or whether they're a potential seller. And I look forward to touching on that in next week's webinar, which we'll do at the same time. So thanks for tuning in, and please don't hesitate to reach out in any way. We've got thousands and thousands of people on this platform, and the people on this platform, they've done their searching, they've been on the major search portals. They're not using this platform to search for property. They're using this platform for the pointy end of the process. They're either very serious about buying or they're very serious about finding an agent to sell. So the thousands of people we have on here are the people that we feel, from what we can see is happening within the platform, are the best people to be connecting with. Thanks for tuning in, and over and out until next week.